This privilege under Rule 59M, I will need your guidance on how it can be processed. When we are debating a statement on school fees, I did raise issues, I don't have to repeat them, but particularly about Kanyareru Primary School and other schools operated by the President. The presiding officer asked me to present evidence. I reached out to him on the following day, but I was surprised that as I was assembling evidence, my submission was expunged. And not only was it expunged, but one of the colleagues who raised the point of order was on Twitter celebrating, actually accusing me of bigotry. The Honorable Kazwenje, I hope that is how he pronounces his name. So the point of privilege, Madam Speaker, is whether I will now be given, or I can proceed even now, and substantiate the matter that I presented here, or I wait for the presiding officer who expunged, because I have more evidence than I had actually promised to bring. And Madam Speaker, that evidence is here. So if you allow me, I'll straight away come and lay and present it. So I need your guidance, because my reputation cannot just be damaged just like that.
Anyway, that is if some people have a reputation. Can you do that when the presiding officer is here who handled it? Because I don't know what it was. I have not been briefed, and the fact that it was expunged, it is not in any record, so I can't read it anywhere. Honorable Laibi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank you. In the
Honorable members, first listen, Ibrahim is on.
Speaker, I wanted to invite you to the judgment of Constitutional Court and the Supreme Court. During the processing of the Majezi bill, the one that made Mr. Museveni Vice President, the argument by those of us who went to court was that, Madam Speaker, on matters of constitutional, there must be consultation. And not just consultation, but adequate consultation. Court ruled, and Parliament can look at the judgment, that matters of constitutional nature cannot be rushed, even if it is one sentence. I was inviting you, Madam Speaker, with humility, that you consider extending the time at least.
Are you done?
I was inviting you, Madam Speaker. Okay, information.
Honorable, Speaker. No. Yes.
Can I conclude, Madam Speaker?
Can you conclude? And when I'm talking about within 45 days, 45 days can even be 1 day. Within. So if you're talking about the dates, that one, it is within 45 days. What I only see sense in it is the issue of Constitutional Review Commission, which Attorney General is going to respond to. Is here.
You can allow me, Madam Speaker, to conclude. The Attorney General can aggregate these issues and answer them. I haven't looked at all the issues challenging the passage of the End Homosexuality. But I have heard those who went to court are even questioning the time within which it was passed. As I said, I haven't looked at that, but the Attorney General can help. So as he does, Madam Speaker, I am pleading with you to give these bills enough time. We can pass them next year. The roof is not coming down.
The levels of trust between the executive and parliament. I have listened variously to the passionate submissions by the Honorable Opendi over her desire to submit and have space for a constitutional amendment. If you look at the constitutional amendment bill and the memorandum attendant to it, it speaks to the intentions of amending particular legislations that have roots from the Constitution. And if you go constitutional strictly, I'm very sure the Land Attorney General would agree with me that these constitutional amendments actually shake the core of the form of governance, which is decentralization. They actually go to the core of the form of government. Increasingly, the amendments actually are a migration from decentralization to centralization, which is why members are discussing the possibility of having the Constitution amended in a consolidated bill. And now that we have accepted to go piecemeal, no, I'm submitting from what the Right Honorable Speaker has guided the House about. And at the end of the day, probably a question will be put. Will the Honorable, the Land Attorney General, give this House an indication of the intentions of government in the interim by bringing this particularly, and then what became of the plethora of promises for wide-ranging constitutional amendments via a constitutional commission? Because what the Honorable Asuman was talking about is very clear. Is government intended and intentioned on causing serious amendments to overhaul the Constitution, to accommodate the wide-ranging changes in the country, in the economy, in the form of governance? Because these piecemeal amendments, for me, are shaking the form of government, with the decentralization, Right Honorable Speaker, and I'm very sure implementation will be somehow problematic. Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. On constitutional is on merging equal opportunity commission and human rights commission.
Thank you.
And what is said that because they perform the same jobs, so it is a duplication.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
If you look at what is in the amendment, the object of the bill.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. In that case, it doesn't stop the Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs from bringing a comprehensive amendment later, while it also doesn't stop us from proceeding with this one. Right Honorable Speaker, the reason I'm saying this, yesterday, all these members, we received messages from people, anonymous people in this country, telling us to reject this constitutional amendment. No wonder we are having this kind of discussion. It is because somebody, yes, we sent messages to all of us. However, Right Honorable Speaker, I can read for them for you. However, Right Honorable Speaker, on the question of timing, it is right.
Honorable members, can you sit? Honorable members, can you sit? Honorable members, we are now going into the merits of the bill. Before the bill is even presented. Now, you've started debating the bill. You've not allowed it to be presented, to be laid on table, and you're debating it. Nathan, what do you have? Honorable members, can you sit?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I recall, and I stand to be corrected, I recall we had a committee, which I chaired, concerning the same matter. But incidentally, the cabinet ignored it. They are saying they have a report which informed them to come to this. I would love to see Honorable Mururu Mukasa giving that report to each committee so that the committees can be informed. We have been here long, I'm sorry to say.
Honorable members, once we have the reports laid on table, Honorable Mururu Mukasa must give his report that formed that decision. And actually he came to my office today and asked that he wants to meet all the chairpersons of all committees before they go into looking at the what? At the reports. So that is the time you should get the report from Honorable Murule.
Additionally, Speaker, I must thank you for having allowed to unpack. You can imagine what would have happened here. The omnibus. We have been here longer. We sat here and we were hurried to privatize. We sat here up to midnight, privatizing. We said we should not sell UCB unanimously. Somebody said he would sell it on a Sunday, and he sold it on a Sunday. I don't want us to go back to where we were. Some of you, when we are sleeping, some of us don't sleep. We think about this nation. We think, while you sleep 6 hours, I sleep 3, but I think. So what I am saying is, I don't want us to be driven to come to a stage now where we are going, we want another UCB. We want Uganda Airlines, Uganda Railways. You sold them when we were here. So, Madam Speaker, I appeal to ministers who are really colleagues I respect, because Honorable Mururu Mukasa, I was with you here. And Mr. Honorable Time was here. We branded, and here we are regretting. I don't want us to go that side. Let us
Honorable
go
members,
through.
Honorable members, this House made the acts. This House has the powers to either repeal the act, reject, or merge. That time has not reached. We are going to reach that time. There is a procedural matter. This House still, but I want to hear from first the Attorney General.
Let these members be given ample time to go through these, consult widely. By the time we come here, we are unanimous. Otherwise...
So had we said we are not going to consult?
No, Madam.
No, I am asking you, Nathan.
I am trying to say, for example, if you had not unpacked, what would have happened here? Honorable Mururu Mukasa was rushing to have this bill gone. We would want to see our workers who are laid off. Are they paid? Will they be paid? Is the money catered for? So many things have to be considered. Madam, this is not something simple. We are trying to look at these things, but I can say we need to go slow and in phases so that we can have this country moving forward. I thank you.
There is a procedural matter here.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
About what you don't know, what you have not received. Instead of receiving the bills first, then you either accept or reject your...
Right Honourable Speaker, we appreciate the situation in the House today. But, Right Honourable Speaker, you agree with us and with me that the promises of government, once not respected, they will cause suspicion from the people of Uganda. And this being a platform of the people of Uganda have rights to raise concerns from the previous promises if they were promising to have the constitutional amendment done in a manner that is acceptable, that is consultative,
then this is really reneging on our promises. Madam Speaker, this country, some of the people, is a dining table, but some of us is our motherland. We have to make sure we tell these people that we are all in consonance to protect the interests of Ugandans. When we rush because we want to appease, there is one professor, one philosopher who said, the triumph of the evil, the only triumph of evil is when good men sit down and do nothing. Madam Speaker, you are one of the people in Uganda that have stood up to defend the people of Uganda.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the sentiments in the House, in my view, I construct them twofold. One, there are entities that we shall need to merge because we have duplicated roles along the way. There are entities that we want to give a second thought about because of their critical nature and everything therein. So members are not saying this or the other, but one, they're saying, can we have adequate time to exhaust all of these issues? That's number one. Number two, what would like to hear from government, and it's good the Attorney General is coming, hopefully he will commit, we want something comprehensive so that we deal not with these issues piecemeal. Because once we handle them piecemeal, it becomes problematic. Can we have commitment on when they can have something comprehensive that we get to discuss generally, and then we determine how we move. But this piecemeal, this, the other, and so on, it's not very smooth, Right Honourable Speaker.
So you're saying, Lob, you're saying that the merging of equal opportunities and human rights should not be done before we have comprehensive one? Or now you're shouting, oh, you handle this and he makes a commitment that we are going to bring a comprehensive.
Right Honourable Speaker.
I like you guys for making noise. I know some of you know where National Theatre is. This is a house for intellectual debate. Let's debate and agree.
Right Honourable Speaker, I don't intend in any way to usurp your duty, but the eyes seem to have had it.
Not the eyes, I'm talking
but,
to the lobe.
Like I said, Right Honourable Speaker, the sentiment is we get to deal with this comprehensively. I think it does not do any harm once we handle it comprehensively. Let government commit. When are you bringing this comprehensively, and then we deal with it.
Attorney General.
Mine is also a procedure. Mine is a procedure.
Attorney General is also.
Madam Speaker, I wanted to draw your attention to Rule 128, which you can read together with Rule 121 and also Rule 25. And I'll justify my submission. In this rule, on first reading, if you read both sub-rule 1 up to 4, my literal interpretation is that once a bill has been placed on the order paper and called, it must be read for the first reading. And any other discussion will come thereafter, including the committee returning the bill, rejecting it, or advising it to be modified either way. That is my interpretation. When you look at Rule 25, in determining order of business, you are required also to give priority to the government business. But after that, you are required to give directions on how other members that had queued up behind the government, their business can be handled. And my understanding is, Madam Speaker, when this rule is commanding that the bill should be read and we must accept it. This House cannot refuse to entertain any matter brought by government. And then after we can make a decision on it. either way, either accept or reject. So the procedural matter,
I wish everybody would be thinking like Honorable Dur.
So, Madam Speaker, the procedural matter is that, one, in
Let's
accordance
receive the bill
as the rules provide,
as the rules command, not even provide command, and then
you guide the members who have queued, like the Honorable Sarah and the rest, with their private, how to proceed with the guidance from the Attorney General.
to go to the committees. But before we do that, we want a commitment from you on the review commission.
Thank you very much,
Constitutional Review Commission.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I can report, without any fear of contradiction, that my colleague, the Honorable Minister of Justice, has collected, to date, I think, 73 proposals for amendment. I can also report that he has instructed the Law Reform Commission to collect them and look at their effect on the various other parts of the Constitution. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, that process is ongoing. It's ongoing right now, and I know even Honorable Mao met some members of Parliament last week who were there discussing some of the constitutional amendments, and I know he has continued to meet several others. So, Right Honorable Speaker, what I can confirm is that the process is being undertaken, and we shall come back to the House at the earliest to report on the same.
Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
So who is saying procedure? You're just admiring Charity. You say it.
Madam Speaker, I've not said anything since I entered this House.
It was Semujju.
The only what I have is whether my good friend, but will ever attend the committee anytime.
Oh?
I only pray.
Oh?
My good friend, he has heard his name, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
I wonder whether he will ever attend the committee.
She's a member of ICT, and she attends. Yes. Yes. I am on designation, not on procedures.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, pursuant to Rule 1581 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I hereby redesignate the following members. I hereby redesignate the following members. They were already designated. Honorable Lieutenant General James Mujira, from the Committee on National Economy to the Standing Committee of Public Accounts, Commissions, Statutory Authorities, and State Enterprises. Honorable Major General Sam Kavuma, from the Committee on Public Accounts, Central Government to the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, Local Government. Honorable Major General Henry Masiko, from the Committee on Public Accounts, Local Government to the Standing Committee on National Economy. Honorable Dr. Victoria Nekesa, from the Committee on Public Accounts, Commissions, Statutory Authority.
Right Honorable Speaker, in accordance with Rule 128 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of Uganda, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Constitution Amendment Bill 2023 be read for the first time. I beg to move. And Right Honorable Speaker, the certificate of financial implications is hereby attached to this bill.
The Constitution Amendment Bill 2023. Item 4.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Issue I am bringing. This is a bill, the Constitution Amendment Act 2023, And Right Honorable Speaker, ideally we have a Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, but it is the Minister of Public Service that is bringing this constitutional amendment. So Right Honorable
Honorable
Speaker.
members, honorable members, honorable members, we are now bringing in trivial issues. Pursuant to Rule 129 of the Rules of Procedure, I now refer the bill to the Sectoral Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, and as earlier on guided, the rules of 45 days stands.
Item 4.2.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Silas, it is unfortunate that you don't have cows. It is people who look after cows who can shout that my cow come back. But
Right Honorable Speaker, in accordance with Rule 128 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament of Uganda, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Bill 2024 be read for the first time. I beg to move.
the bill is referred to the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs and should be reported back according to the rules.
Item
for always giving equal opportunities as per the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. I have been processing a bill as a private member, the National Legal Aid Bill. Right Honorable Speaker, this bill was referred to the committee, the very committee that you have referred to bills to. And 30 days was given. I beg that you allow me to finish this submission.
I've referred to 3, not 2.
Yes. And now, the committee seems to be overloaded. They failed to bring my work for more than 8 months, but we are giving them more work. Is it procedurally proper that you first ask the chairperson of the committee to come and explain, because I represent the people of Uganda, what has gone wrong? Have we decided to go selective in the processing of bills in the House? I feel frustrated. Right Honorable Speaker, can the committee come live and be live and talk the truth?
Honorable Silas, I appreciate your frustration, and we are with you. But can we also hear from the chair first? Maybe the chair came and asked for an extension or whichever. Chair, because I remember at one time they came and sought for an extension.
Was the seconder to that bill. The challenge has come from the learned Attorney General. In fact, it's the office of the learned Attorney General that has been opposed to our bill, creating all forms of obstacles. Even when we came here, it is the Attorney General that raised all sorts of technicalities, denying the people of Uganda the benefit of a very good bill called legal aid. So, Right Honorable Speaker, the Attorney General evidently is not in favor of legal aid. If the meeting is to happen, Right Honorable Speaker, that meeting should be chaired by another office, not the office of the Attorney General, because they've been opposed to this bill. That's why it was given to the committee.
Honorable members, Honorable Duru is about to stand up to say you're discussing a bill within another bill. So let's move on with the bills that are on the floor first. Education and sports.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the Rule 128 of the Rules of Procedure of this Parliament, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Rationalization of Government Agencies, Education Sector Amendment Bill 2024 be read for the first time.
Can you lay for us the bills one by one? I want amendment of Higher Education Students Finance Act 2014, Act 2 of 2014. Lay that one first.
It is, everything is in here, Madam Speaker.
Okay, read them one by one.
Madam Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the amendment of Higher Education Student Financing Act 2014, Act 2 of 2014. I also wish to lay on table the amendment of the National Library Act of 2023, Act 2 of 23. Right Honorable Speaker, I also want to pray, I beg to lay amendment of National Curriculum Development Center Act, Cap 135. I beg to lay.
Honorable members.
The certificate of financial implications is also attached, and I want to lay it on the table.
Thank you. Thank you.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, Honorable Muingo has his bills together, stapled together. He has laid the 3 bills. For me, what I wanted him to do was to read bill by bill, but they are stapled together, and he has laid them on table. And to that effect, therefore, I refer it to the Committee of Education and Sports, and the rules should be in conformity. Next.
Item.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
So who is saying procedure? You're just admiring charity. You say it.
Madam Speaker, I've not said anything since I entered this House.
It was Semujju.
The only one I have is whether my good friend, but will ever attend the committee anytime.
Oh?
I only pray.
Oh?
My good friend, he has heard his name, Madam Speaker.
Okay.
I wonder whether we ever attend the committee.
She's a member of ICT, and she attends. Yes. Yes. I am on designation, not on procedures.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, pursuant to Rule 1581 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I hereby redesignate the following members. They were already designated. Honorable Lieutenant General James Mujira, from the Committee on National Economy to the Standing Committee of Public Accounts, Commissions, Statutory Authorities, and State Enterprises. Honorable Major General Sam Kavuma, from the Committee on Public Accounts, Central Government to the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, Local Government. Honorable Major General Henry Masiko, from the Committee on Public Accounts, Local Government to the Standing Committee on National Economy. Honorable Dr. Victoria Nekesa, from the Committee on Public Accounts, Commissions, Statutory Authorities, and State Enterprises to the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, Local Government. I beg to designate Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Can we have independence? Independence.
Weewale abafere leka nkwanjuli Ham Connect UG ye company egenda okufunira omulimu ebweru w'eggwanga. Tulina emirimu egy'abawala n'abalenzi mu mawanga nga Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Bahrain, Qatar, n'amawanga amalala mangi. Wano ku Ham Connect UG tutunda n'okugula emmotoka ssaako ne airport taxi. Gwe omwana ow'obuwala olina passport oba tolina, jangu ku ofiisi zaffe. Ham Connect UG emirimu gy'abalenzi nagyo tugirina nga ba security guards, ba cleaner, ba housekeeper. Gwe ayagala okumanya ebisingawo tusange ku FB Tower Building ewa Bakuli room number C03 oba tukubire ku namba z'essimu zino noti 75579386 ne noti 7551559193.
Ffe aba Ham Connect UG tutuukiriza ekirooto kyo. Gwe omuzadde eyeetaze essomero erigenda okubangulira omwana wo nga muyiiya mukozi ate ayite ne first grade, katukwanjulire Shehan Standard Day and Boarding Primary School abagenda okuteeka ebyensoma by'omwana wo ku mutendera ogusingira ddala. Empisa, eddiini, ebyemizannyo n'obuyiiya bwonna tubikulembereza ddala ng'ate ebyokulya n'ebyensula bya mulembe ddala. Tulira n'entambula eri abayizi abaviira ewala. Gwe ate omuzadde eyandiyagadde omwana wo okuyita ne first grade totunula obulala wonna. Okwewandiisa kugendera ddala mu maaso okuva ku nursery paka ku kibiina ekyomusanvu. Day ne boarding ng'ate n'ebisale birungi ate bisobokera ddala. Jjukira nti requirements zonna omwana wo azisanga ku ssomero. Tusangibwa Lubaga mu Bulwa Zone okuliraana 24/7 motel. Gwe ayagala okumanya ebisingawo tukubire ku noti 773 73 359 ne noti 757 noti 6 26 96. Shehan Standard Primary School. We invest in education.